looking for Cameron Massey, but there is a flag down, comes in from the side, and we may have a half the distance and in pass interference, although that ball looked uncatchable to me.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. This foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
It'll go from the 4 to the 2, and it resets the downs.
If you're sitting in your coach's office on Friday night and you're thinking about a nightmare and it's going to play out in front of you, this is it. Pass interference with the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Jeff Moore, the defensive coordinator for Bentley, trying to figure out a way to get through Zachary McBride, the OC for Franklin Pierce. They go a little tush-pushy up the middle. They keep him shy of the goal line. The handoff to Hyde goes right into the back of the line. And look at the effort. Dragging him back was Casey Trodden, the linebacker, coming behind the play to drag him away from the goal line.
If I were a betting man, and I'm not, I would say that they're going to fake the ball to the tailback and he's going to bootleg it.
Hyde is behind, and then the deep man behind everybody is Alex Benitez. So 2 running backs in there. They blow things dead.
The snapper moved the ball forward. This is a violation.
I will say,
this is a warning. Next one will be a foul. Thank you.
Microphone. So clear to be able to know what's going on. We haven't had that as easily the last couple of years. So they reset the ball. They go up the middle, and another stop, and the defensive line holds for another try. The celebration, Christian Zamor, who was on the all-rookie team a year ago, along with Flores, making it 3rd down and goal.
Well, if they have a fake where they can fake the ball to the tailback and bootleg or just go around, he will be untouched. Bentley is shooting every gap, and there as an outside linebacker, just has to run to the pylon.
It was Trodden again as well, who came around and grabbed from behind to pull it back. Once again, it's the 2 backs. It's a fake, and it's almost fumbled, but it's into the end zone, and the touchdown is good on the quarterback scramble by Parker. Bentley holds firm 3 times, but on the 4th time, they give up the score, and it's 13-0 with the PAT to come. This almost looks like a fumble. I think the center almost hiked it into his rump, but Parker was able to recover it and dive in. Extra point here from Hubbard. Tough hold, but well done, as it was a little bit low. Malcolm Robinson was able to secure it, and 6 minutes and 13 seconds into this one, Bentley, who has never lost to Franklin Pierce, trails 14-zip.
They will have to make. I mean, this is the biggest time when you're a head coach, and especially for a young head coach. What you don't want to do is rip up the game plan, get away from the running attack, and start throwing the football, because obviously, and you have mentioned it, that's 7 interceptions they've had in the last 2 weeks. So you don't want to be throwing the football and then give them a chance to go 21 or 28-0. And then basically the hill is too far to climb. So you've got to get back. You've got to run the football, get some play action, and try to get use your tight ends the way that they use their tight ends.
Franklin Pierce, again, this is a short series because of Franklin Pierce only reforming the program in 2019. But in the first 4 matchups of the 5 that there have been, Franklin Pierce has scored 24 total points. And last year they got 26. They have 14 in the first 6 minutes here. Another short kick coming up to field it is Hatfield. Cross the 30, bounces to the right, and then he is swarmed. Thinking on the tackle, John Gagliatino, who had one of those interceptions last week.
Got to be careful here. You get frustrated. These personal fouls that come back to haunt you.
So Bentley has had a couple of opportunities to hit their wide receivers down the line on the right-hand side that they missed. A critical pass interference penalty defensively, an interception, and a 3rd and 12 where they get burned for a 78-yard touchdown pass. Not a recipe for early success. 8:40 to play in the opening quarter, 14-0 to the visitors in front of a full but quiet Bentley crowd below us. Warnock, hands off Campo, it's blown dead, and somebody jumped.
Delay of game, offense, number 7.
Can't get the
5-yard penalty,
playoff
first down.
Without a delay of game. Oof. 1st and 10, you can't have a delay of game.
That's
You have to have those plays scripted coming off the sideline.
well. That's the quarterback's fault. That's not the coach's fault.
No,
that's the quarterback. You're looking right at the clock. It's right there in big numbers on both ends of the field.
So Bentley has to start 1st and 15. Ball brought back inside the 30 to the 27. They bring the man in motion. It's Damon. Swings it to the right, Bradford. Makes the catch just past the 30 to 32, and again, the swarm comes. There's always going to be 2 tacklers wherever Rashawn Bradford goes. As a Raven goes into the sideline, you see the
officials timeout.
They're trying
for injury.
to find him, and you can't blame him. He's the best player in the conference from a year ago. Ravens were just trying to get out of the Bentley sideline without any extracurricular activities as Demir Stone was checking on a teammate as one of the Ravens were blocked by one of the tents to see who it is. See if I can move a little bit to my left as 2 players came together, and one of the 2 that wasn't Stone comes up. Gimpy actually has not come up yet. It's Anthony Salviati, I believe. That would be the most likely candidate, although Michael King III, 16 in white. Both safeties on this squad. Yeah, that's Salviati. And, he gets him with the head. As he tries to make the tackle, I think the head collides with the side of Rashawn Bradford and might have gotten a little bit of a neck whiplash. And obviously with these head injuries in 2025, you cannot be too careful. So the initial look, I believe, was 15, not 16, which would be Salviati.
Well, I would recommend for Bentley, they have not done it, but I think you want to get Rashawn Bradford in motion, going across the formation, and throw him a bubble screen where he's already in motion. He's running at full speed when he receives the football. That might be a very good technique play for him.
Coach Gass walking 2/3 of the way over to check on his team, but now returns back. The former offensive lineman played and competed in a Sugar Bowl with Texas. Had the tremendous pleasure of blocking for one Ricky Williams in his tremendous senior season. Started his coaching career at Oklahoma Panhandle State, as we see again coming over, and there's that head to the side, and then he got fallen on by Gagliatino. And so they're helping him up.
The question to ask is to say, what town are you in? He took that was a tough hit.
As you would expect, most of these players fairly local to the area, and it is 16 King, so our apologies. Couldn't tell if it was 15 or 16, so it's Michael King III, the graduate student out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, who is being helped to the sidelines by Demir Stone along with Big Mason Clark. So King, the injured Raven, on the play. We've seen 2 potentially serious-looking injuries in the first 7 minutes of this game. Bentley's right guard, Jake Guy, went off holding his right arm. And now a stinger, to say the least, for Michael King III, as he is helped to the sideline after taking both a... He's still going. Stone juking left and right. Still with Demir Stone to the 10. Trundles inside the 5.
That may be one of the greatest runs I've ever seen.
I don't know how he was still on his feet. There's no video review. So this, despite the fact that we have instant replay.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense and returned to the 1 yard line.
Good.
First down, Franklin Pierce.
Let's see this again, because Campo does such a good job running through contact. And that ball's out. That ball is out. Demir Stone picks it up, but that's only half the fun. Now we get the real party.
There's one. There's one tackle.
Yep, we're going to do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And after all of that, he's in for the touchdown, down to the 1, and the touchdown on the ensuing play gives Franklin Pierce a 20-0 lead. We were too focused on watching that, and how can you blame us that we didn't see the easy run up the middle that was rolled in by Romello Hyde. We have not played half a quarter. Franklin Pierce is up 3 touchdowns. Dylan Hubbard. Demir Stone brought that almost 50 yards to the 1. Here's the touchdown run. Much less exciting than the previous play. And much less drama than it took to get them in on the last 1 yard score.
Mason, I don't think I have seen. That may be one of the great defensive returns, and the only thing that it didn't go for a touchdown.
Both teams had one big man who was close to falling on it before Stone picked it up, and then had an entire maze, not just of opponents, but teammates as well. He was jumping over his own teammates to get to the line.
And that was a great run by the Bentley tailback.
Campo did all the hard work and just relentless pursuit of the football by Franklin Pierce, and Bentley has been stunned. The only good thing, we have 7:58 to play in the first quarter. This game has so much football still to play, but Franklin Pierce, you could not draw this up any better. That one driven, fielded deep by Hatfield. Good coverage by Franklin Pierce that time. Fielded it around the 3 and was dragged down as he got past the 20-yard line. So Warnock has been the quarterback for the first 3 series. He will be out there once again, but he has not had tremendous success. 1 interception, 1 punt, and 1 fumble for Bentley.
Well, if you have 2 turnovers in the first 7.5 minutes, you're going to be behind.
Handoff to the tailback. Moves over the left-hand side. Not much there, though, by Telly Edouard. Edouard on the season, that's his 12th carry, came in with 11 for 48.
I like him. He has a little bit more jolt in his step, and if he gets through the first line of defense, he can be gone.
Hails from North Providence, Rhode Island, 5'8", 175. They bring the man across the coverage in Bibby. Bibby gets the short toss. Bibby on the run, gets to the sideline and goes out of bounds as we'll see where they mark him. By the end of it, he was close to midfield, but I believe that he stepped out of bounds long before that. So it's the little short toss. It's the greatest pass as a quarterback. Maybe 1 inch in front of you to Bibby the third. He actually doesn't even get to first down yardage. He was out of bounds at the 37.
It's the volleyball setup pass.
Yeah. So 3rd and 2. Edouard takes the handoff, runs into a horde, and he won't get it. He's going to be stopped short. Edouard is shifty, but he's not exactly big.
Now here, you are absolutely correct. If he's going to be running between the tackles on 3rd and short, he's got to have a hole.
And Bentley currently has the offense out there on 4th and 1 inside their own 40. If this doesn't reek of desperation, over the top goes Edouard. Boy, less than 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. You're going for it on 4th and 1 inside your own 40. You don't get that, this could really get ugly. They do, as Edouard shows athleticism.
Quarterback change.
So in comes, it's not Isaiah Osgood, I don't believe. No, it is Isaiah. Yep, there it is. 15 on the season for Osgood. He's 3 of 3 passing for 1 long touchdown pass last week to Navon Reed. He also has a long rushing touchdown as well, and he won't get his first snap as Bentley has to use a timeout.
First team timeout,
game.
Bentley.
1st and 10 to start a series, and now with the new quarterback out there on 1st and 10, they burn their first time out of the half.
21-0. And we're 9 minutes into the game.
Again, in the first 5 games between these sides, Franklin Pierce had 0, 14, 0, 10. Then last year they had 26. They're threatening to pass that number in the first quarter. But you can't look at the series history between these two teams and really judge Franklin Pierce, because what they've been able to build in a short period of time amidst a COVID pandemic as well, started their first 2 seasons as a program with 1 combined win. But in the last couple of seasons, you've seen them build something under Coach Gaskamp. And this is the sign of that progress. And they have a tough start to their conference schedule, but then things kind of become a little bit easier as Osgood on the design quarterback run gets away from a tackle, gets to the first down, and more. That is why Isaiah Osgood is in the game, and then he's dragged out of bounds, and that'll add 15 more. The Franklin Pierce coaching staff is saying, hey, he wasn't that far out of bounds. That should not be an extra 15. A little bit of extra on the tug, and they're going to get Darian Lopez-Sullivan for a 15-yard additional penalty, maybe. They're talking it over.
Yeah,
there is no foul for a late hit out of the bounds. The ruling on the field is a first down.
They pull it back, so no flag on Lopez Sullivan as we see this again.
It was done by the side judge, and it was not done by the guy who was right in front of.
Yeah, the field judge could not have been any closer to that. He was not the one that tossed the laundry. So it's still a first down, and Bentley for the first time gets inside FPU territory to the 48. It's still Osgood. Fakes the handoff, Bradford. Play action. Looking for the pass. It's deep. There was 2 guys in the area. Bibby was one. The intended target was Damon, and he split both of them. Had a chance for another big play that hits the turf. Look at all the space.
Oh, my. Wide open. Unable to deliver the mail.
That's the 3rd pass between the Bentley quarterbacks that has been airmailed down this right side. The one pass that was underthrown was picked off. Back to Warnock. Bradford catches it, swarmed, and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. And it's the player who almost got called for the personal foul, Darian Lopez-Sullivan, who wraps him up for a 1-yard loss.
That's why I said I might be in the business of getting him in motion so that when he gets the football, he's not standing there and he can continue on to the sideline or cut back. Right now, the Franklin Pierce pursuit is they really turned it up a notch.
If you've watched any Bentley football over the last couple of years, Dick Hewlin bubble screens. Loves them. Would love to see more of them. Inside the final 5 minutes of this first quarter, that's been all Ravens. Up the middle, Navon Reed. Not the shiftiest of guys, but he makes a man miss and trundles inside the 25. That may have been the slowest move I've ever seen. That was beautiful. Look at this move. As he's tackled.
Officials timeout for injury.
Salviati. But look at this little boop. Freezes the defense as Jamal Leah couldn't bring him down, but there is another Raven down on the field this time, and boy, the injuries and undercurrent to this first quarter as Salviati, a critical member of this defense, is down gingerly.
They could be out 2 safeties.
I've already seen them lose King the third.
Salviati's a good player.
Yes, he is.
Well, Bentley decided to they were going to replay what Franklin Pierce had done. They looked for the tight end down the seam, and the safety man was in fact, if you want to throw the ball to the tight end, put Rashawn Bradford as the split to the tight end side, and that safety will be looking at him. And Bradford listen, you may have to use him as the Trojan horse.
So we have had 3 injuries along with the 3 Franklin Pierce touchdowns in this first quarter. Salviati from Attleboro. It's the second time that maybe his own teammate is involved in the play. As watch Salviati try to jump over his teammate and then get caught up with Justin Mays, his fellow defensive back. So 2 safeties currently down for Franklin Pierce. Bentley out there right guard. Clock moving at 4:20 in this first quarter.
So they have 4 over 2 here to Bradford's side.
Bibby closest to the near sideline. They have Damon out on the left as the tight end. Warnock scrambling, looks to pass, throws it up to Reed, and it may be intercepted. And it is. Second pick of the day for Franklin Pierce defensively. And what a series for Darian Lopez-Sullivan. Brought Bradford down. Now he might have secured this interception. Bentley saying, should this be a touchdown? I don't know how they have that in their cards. Look at this play. It's not Lopez-Sullivan. It's Zakir Kerr. 50-50 ball, and Kerr comes out with it.
Unless they're talking some kind of pass interference, I don't believe so.
The ruling on the field is an interception for a touchback. First down, Franklin Pierce.
In the air as if it was a touchdown, but I think that was wishful as Zakir Kerr comes away with the 3rd Franklin Pierce takeaway of the quarter and their 9th in the last 5 quarters of football. 9. And that'll come out to the 25.
Well, if you're going to break the rules of quarterbacking play, unfortunately, Luke Warnock threw that ball up for grabs into the end zone. And at this level, at the college level, a great play by the defensive back for Franklin Pierce, but that ball never should have been thrown.
So down 2 defensive backs. Zakir Kerr, who came in for Salviati, makes the play. One thing that has been another trend in this first quarter, penalties on first down. We've seen a delay of game. We've seen 2 false starts. First and 15.
False start.
15.
Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Boy, you'd say to yourself, that would be great. Both the safety men are out for Franklin Pierce, and I don't think either one of them is coming back. But, boy, you're down 21-0.
3 takeaways in this first quarter. 2 interceptions, and not 1 interception came from a player that had 1 last week. So they had 6 last week. They have 2 this week. So 8 interceptions from 7 different guys. That pass is complete.
And we kind of undersold them because it was against Pace, and we've seen Pace, but they fly around on defense.
And that was not a conference game. Bentley will get AIC twice. Pace is Franklin Pierce's 2-time opponent, but they will get them in the season finale as a conference game. As trying to fire some players up, as making the stop, Mario Diaz and his family is making itself known, but it is a first down as that nose of the football just gets to the 30. That's close. Almost 3rd and inches, but they do move the chains. And with the clock moving, this play will happen with around 3 minutes to go. It has been a long first quarter, but it's been all Ravens. Another nice move as Romello Hyde shows his shiftiness, gets out close to midfield, and Bentley just cannot find anything on either side of the ball right now.
Well, this defense will get much better as the year goes along, but right now they are a pale as compared to last year's defensive line.
Hyde again. Up the gut, gets to midfield, trucks over Boutros. The next 4 games on Bentley's schedule are winnable. This was winnable too. It still could be winnable. There's a lot of football to play. But after this, AIC and Southern Connecticut on the road, and then Post and Pace here. Remember, Bentley was picked to finish first in this conference with the absence of New Haven having moved up to the NEC at Division I FCS. Long protection. A lot of time for Parker. Throws on the run, almost threw it away, and ends up just throwing it out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up.
And you are right, Mason. That is too much time. He almost ordered out.
Both teams have had time for their quarterbacks. Now, Bentley has thrown the ball very quickly on the offensive side, so we haven't really necessarily had to see a lot of pressure from Franklin Pierce, which is almost worse because they haven't dialed up a ton of pressure and they have 3 takeaways. Parker looking, throwing over the middle, and it's dropped by Benitez. Would have been short of the line, and Bentley for the first time forces a punt.
Well, they're really finding it difficult to get pressure on the quarterback, and they're gonna have to bring the linebackers in on the pass rush, and of course that opens up the middle. Then
there's only one starting offensive lineman that's a senior for Franklin Pierce. That's Garrett Armstrong, the right guard. Got a sophomore, a redshirt freshman, another sophomore, and a junior. As on to punt it away is Ethan Brown. It's a low snap. Here comes the pressure, and there's going to be a flag. It's going to be downed. Now the question is it running into, which would not be a first down, or is it roughing, which would be? It was 4th and 7, so if it's a 5-yard running into the kicker penalty, it would not be a first down, but let's see.
Running into the kicker.
Oof, Bentley gets a break.
Receiving team, number 4. That penalty is declined. First down, Bentley.
So Franklin Pierce will decline the penalty because it was a good punt by Ethan Brown. Let's see this again. Again, the key is the plant leg. Ooh, it's close.
No, that's not a tackle.
20 years ago, that's roughing the kicker.
Yep, that is close. So Bentley almost commits a special teams snafu in a quarter that their offense and their defense have both been wanting, for lack of better terms for it. 1:41 to play, down by 21.
Hard to say that with a minute 41 left in the first quarter.
Franklin Pierce is a good offense, but it's been their defense forcing 3 takeaways that's helped. Pat Damon catches, levels the player that had the interception on the last drive, Zakir Kerr, and moves the sticks. Pat Damon's a big boy.
Well, the tight ends are always either going to be single covered or covered by a linebacker, and that's the guy to go to.
Bentley has 2 big, capable tight ends in 6'3" and 6'4", Damon and Reed, respectively. There's Bradford. The pass was a little behind him and low, and it hits the turf.
Unfortunately, he wanted to run with it before he caught it.
It's the hard part about being an electric receiver. You can be the best receiver on the planet, but if the delivery isn't spot on, even the best receivers can struggle to create chunk plays. And the passing accuracy has not quite been there for Warnock this season, not just today. That one looks good, though. Rashawn Bradford has it. Teardrop over the top. Warnock dialing one up. Bradford with the big gain.
Well, they did not have the safety over the top for the double coverage, and Luke read it correctly and threw the ball, and Bradford just beat him right off the line.
Bradford beating Banks to the ball over the top. That one right on the money as Bradford moves in motion. Quick handoff, Campo, who's run well, had a good run before he coughed it up on the last drive. We saw Edward in there for a couple of snaps, but now it's Campo again, the bigger, more bruising back, 6', 215. 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Bentley doesn't have to snap it, but there is going to be a flag, and we'll see it's a false start. And in the process,
false start,
tackle
offense,
right
number 66. 5-yard
Love that
penalty.
as a nose tackle. Oh,
Second down.
Let me just truck you. Mason Clark, 5'10", 295.
Yeah, he doesn't get cheated at the picnic table.
And actually, there's a little flinch, but all of the contact comes from Clark, who, if you had the prototypical Division II nose tackle, yeah, it's him. Big, bruising, right in the center of your picture. Clock is running, so that will expire.
This is the end of the first quarter.
Which took a while. It was a 47-minute first quarter, which has featured 3 injuries, 3 touchdowns, and 3 takeaways by Franklin Pierce as the Ravens lead it 21-0 after 1 quarter of play. We take a pause. Second quarter action on the other side. It's Falcon weekend, but the Falcons need a rally. Down by 3 scores on BTV and Flow Sports.
Today's Bentley Athletics event is proudly supported by the West Wall Bank. Whether you're outside golf,
$21-0 the score as we flip the field. Bentley looking to get on the scoreboard, now attacking right to left. Mason Stelf, Dick Ewell for BTV as it's fumbled. Warnock fumbled the snap, and Franklin Pierce may be on top of it. Still have yet to see the signal. Warnock's heading off the field, though. And nope, he's just getting the call as he was saved by Campo. We're going to see this again. Just never has a handle on the football.
No.
Goes to hand off to Campo and just never has it. Campo able to pounce on it, but it's a loss of 5. 3rd down and 15. And this day just goes from bad to worse. Now definitely out of field goal range. This would be 54. They don't have 54. They go quick. Reed tried to one-hand it. It still would have been miles short of the sticks, and now Bentley really has no choice but to bring out the punt team. So they get it inside the 35, and the drive stalls. Now you need Richardson to give them a pin back inside. You'd hope the 10-yard line, as there's the pass for Reed. Even if he hauls it in athletically, there's no chance for anything more than that. Richardson fields it, punts it end over end, and Bentley is going to down it at the 8. So Richardson does his job. Downed on the play by, I believe that was Jason Williams. But now the real question with a long field, Bentley's got to force 3 and out here.
Yes. Yes, they do. And there comes a point in the game, and there comes a point in the season where your young defensive line has got to stand up and make a play. You can't give them good yardage on first down, especially since they're inside their own 10.
Bentley, 4 down linemen, the 3 linebackers behind them. Romello Hyde with the carry, not much. Gains 2. This game really started on the 3rd and 12 that went for a 78-yard touchdown pass to the tight end, and from there Franklin Pierce was off to the races. An interception led to a 1-yard score by the quarterback Parker, and then a fumble which led to one of the greatest returns from a fumble you'll ever see. Nearly 50 yards to the 1, set up another 1-yard score by Hyde. 2nd down, 8, another false start. This will be half the distance. Nope, it's on the 11 it looks like, so we'll move it back to the 6. And now the increased urgency.
False start.
Go 3 and out.
Offense, number 69.
More pronounced.
5-yard penalty.
As they're behind
2nd
the line
down.
of scrimmage.
Now, if you are Franklin Pierce, the smart thing to do here is to run the ball And if you don't make it, you kick it. What you don't want to do is get a turnover here. If you're leading 21-0, you would love to go in at halftime up 21-7, 28-0, 21-0, whatever that might be. You just have to don't be greedy.
Bentley did have one interception last week. Mike DiPlacido with the pick of the Bryant quarterback. Parker takes the snap. Hands off Hyde. Off the left. Nothing there. And Bentley is 2/3 of the way there. Tackle made on the play by Christian Zamor, the linebacker. Bentley had 10 all-conference honorees last year. 5 of them return. But a couple of big losses on the defensive side. On the defensive line, no more Hervé Chibamba, no more Zach Goodwin, and then no more Matt Dushman in the secondary. And that has been notable in the first 3 games of the season. 3rd and 13, huge defensive stand. They go to the air, and it is picked off. Bentley's got it on the tip. DiPlacido, his second interception in as many weeks. He rolls to the end zone. He's just short. But exactly what you said couldn't happen did, but there's flags down.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
And this could be catastrophic for Bentley, as the celebrations that were so big just a few seconds ago suddenly subdued, as this is going to be an automatic first down.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They're not arguing, so it must be.
And that's tough because I believe that pass was tipped, which, depending on where that flag is,
15.
nullify the PI. Let's watch this again. And yeah, there's a hold there. Oh, that's tough, because he gets his hand on the football.
The problem is the right hand that went around his waist.
Damian Anderson got the hand on it, but too much contact as he tipped it to DiPlacido. No 3 and out, and the ball moves out past the 20 for a fresh set of downs. That pass is too high. Is it loose? Is it a vertical? No, they say no lateral. It is not in the backfield. It's just a dropped pass. Well, this drive has been odd. I still can't believe you went to the air there. You got away with it if you're Franklin Pierce, but
they are living right, Mason, in this game.
The ruling on the field was a backward pass, an inadvertent whistle. By rule, replay first down.
And I think there was something that happened on that play. The fans are being so vocal, couldn't even hear the referee, but we're replaying the down. They say there was an inadvertent whistle, which I've never heard in all my years calling football, and it resets the down. So it's not an incomplete pass. There's no play. For the first time, we see another running back. It's Tezzy Boswell from Orange, New Jersey, number 11 in white, who's in there. Boy, Franklin Pierce, can anything go wrong for them?
Nothing.
Now they're getting inadvertent whistles? This is crazy.
Nothing. And again, topped off by that run after the picked up with a fumble. That one I'll never forget.
2nd down and 8 after the Boswell run. It's thrown into the flat, caught there by Boswell. 3, now 4, now 5 defenders swarm him and halt his progress after I don't even think there was any real gain on that play. And again, Bentley has a 3rd down must-stop opportunity. It's a man who we haven't said his name nearly enough, Henry Schouten, who is the primary tackler on that play. Schouten this season, 24 tackles, 10 solo, 14 assisted, 1.5 tackles for loss. He is everywhere, 45 normally, but we haven't seen his name called enough. He's in the center right now with Mike DiPlacido. Those two both can be recognized.
Delay of game,
in the center
offense,
of
number 0. Number 6, correction, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yep.
So
Gino Facchetti. No, they said it was 0, but it can't be 0 because Facchetti is not in on the offense.
If you have a screen pass or you have a draw play, this is the time to call it. And then punt the ball.
And if you're Bentley, you just can't commit another penalty.
Well, if you're Bentley and you get the ball offensively, you've got no more mistakes, no more penalties.
Easier said than done when we're up in the booth. As Parker drops back to pass, now goes to run, looks downfield, has a man, and it's caught. Cameron Massey for another big gain. Franklin Pierce showing no fear. 3rd and 13. They flip the field. It's inside the 35.
Well, if you're going to throw it, go ahead and throw it 40 yards down the field. If it's intercepted, it's a punt. All right. Unfortunately, he got out of the pocket. We did not keep him in the pocket, and he had enough area to be able to throw the ball.
Quick snap. Goes deep. Again. Has a man. It's picked off this time. And dragged into the end zone. David Brown Jr. gets Bentley the football back. It's looking like actually Jacob Flores. Brown Jr. was back there, but it's Flores with the pick.
They just did Bentley a huge favor.
The ruling on the field is an interception resulting in a touchback. First down,
we can get
Bentley.
in the end zone with a quick strike. And they should have gone to running the football, short passing, and work the clock down to about 5 or 6 minutes, get a field goal or a touchdown, and they would have been ahead 28-0.
They ruled that a touchback. Franklin Pierce was hoping that they could say forward progress was stopped at the 2, but ultimately dragged into the end zone, so Bentley will take it at the 20. And after a huge 3rd down and long conversion for the second time in this game, Bentley gets their first takeaway. It's the 4th between the two sides today. Warnock, quick pass, Damon across the 30, first down. Second straight drive where Bentley has started with a nice quick slant to Pat Damon.
And that's good for a Falcons first down.
Well, also, if you've watched Bentley football over the last couple of years, I don't think Dick and I have ever called a prototypical football game. There's always been weird, quirky stuff that's happened. We've had games be extremely high scoring. We've had games be low scoring, turnovers, special teams blunders, special teams heroics. There's always something. Warnock thought about going deep, now flips it over the top and has Navon Reed. Well, that wasn't typical. But another first down and another tight end catch and run for Bentley.
No, I tell everybody, if I'm going to be doing the game with you, you could throw all the rules and regulations out the window. We've seen bad coaching, turnovers, unbelievable plays, tips, broken plays.
So 2 plays, 2 first downs to 2 different tight ends. That's been Bentley through the first couple of weeks of the season as Warnock gets brought down way back into the backfield. You can't have that happen as Gagliatino wraps him up. 6 sacks last week for Franklin Pierce, and this one's going to bring up 2nd and forever. All the way to the 32. The line to the gain is the plus 46. 2nd and 22 after a 12-yard loss. Warnock, quick pass, Bradford. Picks up a little bit. We'll say 6 on the play. And then behind the play, there is a personal foul penalty. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. Jamel Lee, who is not the biggest guy, 5'11", 180, gets called for a penalty for dragging down big number 73 for Bentley. That's Amin
After the play,
Rahim.
personal foul,
I have
unnecessary
no idea how
roughness,
that player can
defense,
drag down
number
that player.
13, 15-yard penalty,
Amin Rahim
automatic
is a
first down.
guy. And you're not going to look at this. Watch the defensive back pull down the big offensive lineman. Oh, little bit of sell on that.
There is. There is. We're almost an Academy Award performance. Almost.
But Bentley needed something to go their way, and maybe that's it. As that ball does get moved to the 48. It's on the plus side. It's 1st and 10, and another play to go for negative yards, though. As for the first time today, we get to say the name of Gino Facchetti. and that's what he can do. Just blasts off the line, and he doesn't make quiet tackles.
No, he's their rush linebacker, and you got to account for him when he's on the line of scrimmage. He's their fourth man.
And a player that Coach Gaskamp, when I talked to him on Thursday, said he deserves way more recognition than he gets, as that pass is not on the same page as Peter Bibby. Third and forever again.
Those kind of mistakes are the wide receiver and the quarterback are not on the same page, and now it's 3rd and 10. And
I think all of Bentley's third downs have been behind the chains. The delay of game, the false start, the plays for negative yardage. If they haven't gotten the pickup early in the downs, they've faced third and a really long way.
Navon Reed, they'll be looking down the middle.
They have the twin tight end package as Damon runs up the middle. They dish it out left. They get it to the running back in the flat. And there's the shiftiness a little bit of Telly Edward, but he's going to be short to the 42, and Bentley may keep the offense out there. They brought out Richardson for a punt last time, but that's because it was 4th and forever. Now the offense stays out. It's 4th and 4, timeout Franklin Pierce, as they want to see what Bentley does.
First team timeout,
they use their first
Franklin
timeout.
Pierce.
So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. And already you're in critical play territory for Bentley. Down by 3 scores. You got bailed out by the interception. But Franklin Pierce has shown no signs of slowing down offensively.
Well,
they could have, but they haven't.
Believe it or not, if you could get something here, a field goal or a touchdown, and get it within 4 or 5 minutes and then put a stop on, you could be right back in the football game. But this is the big play here, 4th down and 5. And really, when you think about it, the game this will be the biggest play probably in the entire game. If Bentley can keep the drive alive and get points, psychologically they'll feel a lot better. And maybe they can stop Franklin Pierce after they score.
Empty backfield as Artope heads out to the right. Warnock has the 2 tight ends to this near side. Now looks to the near, rolls out, throws across his body, but that's always a tough play for a right-handed quarterback moving to his left. It's incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs, and Franklin Pierce continues to see their good day get better.
Unfortunately, he got a case of happy feet there. He ran out of the pocket when he actually didn't. He should have stepped up. Once you do that, you limit yourself to one half of the field and unable to deliver the ball on time and accurately.
Redshirt freshman a year ago, so he's been with the program, but his first true game action coming this season, and there's just nothing that can quite simulate what it is to play quarterback at the college level until you're doing it. And Warnock has shown signs. That teardrop pass to Bradford, his best of the day, but he's also shown his struggles as well. This young man has played quarterback at this level for the last 3 years at a very high level. Dishes it out to the tight end. Connor Marchie does not run this one for 78 yards. Picks up 2.
Boy, they've got their foot on the gas pedal, Mason.
It's crazy because by the end of this, they look like they want to run Bentley off their own field, but at the same time, they also run the risk of costly turnovers that could keep Bentley in it if they're not careful. Well, when do you play smart versus just continuing to do what you're doing?
Well, if you can make a first down with 3 runs, that's 2.5, 3 minutes off the clock.
They go to the ground. It will bring up 3rd down, as short of the line is Hyde.
So if he'd made 2 or 3 on first down, and then he made 6 there, it'd be 3rd down and 1.
That's the thing. You can't necessarily say that Bentley should have tired legs defensively, as none of these drives have been very long. Neither team has had a long drive. It's been big chunk plays, both turnovers and long plays for Franklin Pierce. They have gone to the air time and time again on 3rd down. They stay to the ground this time. Hyde is stopped short. Gets it across midfield, but he is stopped at the 49. I think he's short. And there is a player slow to get to his feet, but looks to be okay. That was Hyde. Oh,
They're ruling on the field. The runner is short of the line of gain. 4th down.
They are really playing with fire. I don't think they are.
No. The way
you can only be aggressive so many times.
Well,
although
you have to take into consideration that the Bentley quarterback has played about as badly as you can play in the first half. You're willing to give him the ball again inside the 10.
Now, this is the second punt. Bentley ran into the kicker last time and got away with it. You can't do it here because it's 4th and 1. They do bring pressure, and it's blocked, and it's fielded, and there might be a return on. Tyler Lane has it. Lane is dragged down inside the 35, and it's Bentley with a big play. Tyler Lane, safety by trade, makes the special teams play after the block.
If you want to see an interesting football game, come to Mason and Dick Ewell's games. Wow. 21-0 with a chance to make them have to drive the ball 90 yards, and they block a punt.
Look, I understand that you want to watch top-tier FBS football every week, the Power 4 conferences, but if you want to see fun, chaos, and just pure unpredictability, this is the level you want to be at, and this is the field you want to be at week after week. 5:20 to play. Bentley has the ball back again in plus territory.
Boy, if they can get a touchdown here.
Warnock showing a lot of trust. They go with the flea flicker. Double reverse. Damon over the top, and it's almost picked off by Zamir Stone. Oy.
The razzle-dazzle. Unfortunately, there was no dazzle.
Bentley was lucky that didn't go south twice, because that was almost a big sack about 15 yards behind the line, and then it was almost a one-handed interception by Stone. Franklin Pierce, again, has 9 takeaways in the last week and a half. That's much more traditional football, as Campo runs up the middle.
See, ask yourself the question, if we ran the ball on first down and we were there, what you want to do is, if it's 4th down, you want to be 4th and 2 or 4th and 3. Now it's going to be 4th and
3.
4th and 3.
Yep. I'll say 4th and 4, but either way. And now this is a situation where last year Mason Campbell had a leg from 45. It wasn't going to be guaranteed from 45, but he had the leg. This year, a little different. The offense staying out there, and again, in a 21-0 game, you're going to leave the offense out there. But it's a different kicking situation with Peter Bafiatis this season for Bentley.
But they have this set with both tight ends.
4th and 4, almost a neutral zone infraction. Warnock dragged down. And Bentley's day has had 3 turnovers, 2 turnovers on downs, and a punt. In the last couple of years, Bentley has had the luxury of Mark Wade and his dual threat ability and Brett Pullman as a gunslinger last season. Warnock has time to develop, but he is not Wade or Pullman.
No. And that really what we have talked about over the last, especially this year, is the Wade's ability to make unbelievable plays when the things break down.
4:10 to play in the half. Handoff. Another short gain on first down, but Franklin Pierce has not been hindered by minimal gains on the early downs, as they have been so quick to go to the air on 3rd down for big chunk plays.
You think they would be very happy to run it 3 times here. If they make a first down, fine. If not, punt it. Of course, we said that, and they blocked the punt.
It's true. Anthony Johnson is the running back on the right hip of Parker. Clock running. Parker steps up in the pocket. He has been protected, throws it, and it's picked off. Tipped and picked, and this time it will work out. DiPlacido has it, still on his feet, and he might be able to top the fumble recovery run. Inside the 5. It's the second time that a tipped ball has been picked. This time it stands. Damian Anderson tips it to DiPlacido. DiPlacido tries to channel his inner fumble recovery from earlier in the day. What is this game?
I'm speechless. I'm speechless that they throw an interception with a tip. And DiPlacido is one of the kids back from the last couple of years. He's just a great defensive back.
Franklin Pierce just will not play it safe. They can't. It's not in their DNA to do anything but take to the air. It feels like on these middle downs.
This is like putting $100 in the coin fountain during Christmas.
Osgood is in at QB. Design QB run. There he goes up the middle. And he is manhandled down by Cy Fofang.
What is he, 165?
He is 6'4", 215.
Who?
Osgood? 6'4", 215. He's a stick, but he's got some weight to him.
215?
I'm going off of what the sheet says.
Let's bring the scale out at halftime. I want to see that. 215.
That's like saying I'm 215. It's Warnock again. Second down and goal from inside the 5. Timeout, Bentley. Their second of the quarter.
Second team timeout, Bentley.
2:36. Bentley cannot come out of here with just 3, but at the end of the day, right now you just have to break your duck. 21 zip in a game that has had, if you're joining us late, 5 turnovers, 3 for Bentley, 2 for Franklin Pierce. We have had 2 of the greatest returns off of a turnover you'll ever see, both ending up just shy of pay dirt. Franklin Pierce got it to the 1 and was able to punch it in. Bentley was able to bring it to the 5. And just look at this return from DiPlacido. He starts at the 45 of his territory. There's 1 block. There's a second block. There's a third man miss. 2 more miss there. There's another block. There's another missed tackle. And finally, he's dragged down behind the play by Alex Benitez. Second down. The toss to Campo. Nothing there.
Well, they lost 3 yards.
Yes, they did. And Bentley will very likely need to take to the air. This is a situation in previous years where that back corner of the end zone fade to Navon Reed has been so dangerous for Bentley. I remember distinctly 2 years ago him making a toe tapper pylon catch in the corner deep in this left corner end zone.
Well, the big difference now is Warnock is not going to run the ball in. And over the past few years, Bentley has had the quarterback.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
That could run quarterback power, quarterback counter, quarterback draw. And they do not have that. They've either got to get in, and one of the tailbacks is 170 pounds. And the quarterback, and again, there's no fear. There's no fear in the opponents of worrying about Luke Warnock. And where Wade was unbelievable was when protection broke down and he had to run out of the pocket. He was as dangerous as anybody in the country. And every time they've gotten Warnock, they've got him for a big sack.
And Brett Pullman was not Mark Wade, but he was big. And he would run up the middle and he could create opportunities in short yardage situations. Now, this is not short yardage anymore. Third down and goal from the 5. 3 points doesn't do a whole heck of a lot other than get you off the 0 that you stand on now. Rashawn Bradford moves to the right-hand side. They'll have Damon and Reed tight to the formation on the right. Franklin Pierce starts the second half with the football. Warnock, shotgun formation, rolls right, looking for a man. Bradford is the target, has it. Does he get the toe in? He does! Touchdown, Falcons! First of the season, Rashawn Bradford, and it's a big one. 1:54 to play in the half. Wins in man-to-man coverage. The DB tries to force him out of bounds on the catch. Bentley's trying to hustle this PAT off. Can't see from that angle, but they don't review it. And the extra point is good from Ben Mitchell. So Ben Mitchell and Peter Vafiatis have been splitting the kicking duties. Let's see on this angle if we get a better look at the toe tap. Both feet up. Ooh, that left foot just gets in, does it? We don't have a camera angle, I don't think, on the far side.
Thank God there's no paint on
right?
the lines.
Well, that's one of those where if this was a full grass field, maybe you see a little chalk pop up, and that gives it away. Instead, it's the first touchdown of the season for the reigning NE10 MVP, Rashawn Bradford, who just torched everyone last year, has yet to really get off the mark this season. But Franklin Pierce, in many ways, a little bit of architects of their own destruction.
Yes.
Back-to-back interceptions after you get up 21-0, and you haven't had trouble running the ball, but you've gotten a little bit greedy, and this game still has so much time in it. As, boy, the moves on special teams, nobody able to bring anybody down. This time, it was a little bit of shiftiness from Kerr, who made that interception athletically against Reed in the opposite end zone.
Well, we had anticipated with 1:46 that they would run the ball 3 times and punt. But Franklin Pierce has certainly helped out Bentley, who has played terribly in the first half with turnovers, but a great special teams play and a great interception by Mike DiPlacido has made the difference. And they're not out of the game yet.
No.
And they should be. It should be 28 or 35-0.
Franklin Pierce has 2 timeouts remaining. Bentley only has 1. They run with Romello Hyde. Stopped short of the 30. Does either team play it aggressively and call a timeout? CJ Scarpa, headset on just below us around the 38 for Bentley, not electing to use a timeout defensively.
I don't think Bentley has enough timeouts. They used a couple, unfortunately.
You wonder if they might have done something if they had caused a loss on that first play, but with only 1 timeout and a 5-yard gain, you don't do anything.
Wow, I can't believe this.
Parker takes to the air again to the 45. Tight end makes the catch. Actually, it's the big receiver who's able to haul it in. That's Cameron Massey, 6'2", 180 from East Hartford, Connecticut. And Franklin Pierce will not go quietly into halftime. Clock is moving. 106, 105, 104. Adrian Parker takes the shotgun snap, looks to the right, has another catch. This time it's Tristan Evans who hauls it in before he's knocked out of bounds. Making the defensive stop, Christian Zamor. 58 seconds on the clock as Franklin Pierce wants to restore the 3-goal lead heading into halftime.
Mason, I am shocked. And I'm not conservative at all. I always said keep scoring, make the other team score. But boy, 21-7, and you're saying to yourself, yeah, we want more.
And they get the ball out of the break, so they're trying to go 2 for 1 here. Parker over the middle, has a man. Caught that time by Benitez. 3 straight catches, 3 different receivers. Classic Franklin Pierce offense. 51 seconds. They'll stop the clock to spot the football, but Franklin Pierce has all the time they need, and they can take. They have 2 timeouts. Did somebody make a change?
No, there was a substitute.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a change. That's why the judge has to step in, and that cost him 10 seconds. Easy. Throw into the flat. Caught. Out of bounds with 32 seconds. I'm almost surprised when that substitution happened that Franklin Pierce didn't just call the timeout, because it burned 10, 12, maybe even 14 seconds off the clock as the officials had to stop the ball to allow Bentley the opportunity to sub. 32 seconds.
They've thrown the ball to the outside now over the last 8 or 9 minutes. If they they're in slot formation now, but you'd think that Bentley has 1 safety, so you think either one of those guys are going to go down the hash.
They have Evans in the slot, rolling to the right. Parker goes to the boundary, has Evans. Dylan Smith, brought in that play, and it is a timeout for Franklin Pierce, their second of the half. Coach Gaskamp about 10 yards onto the field to call for that timeout.
Second
They've
team
shown
timeout,
no signs of playing
Franklin
it
Pierce.
safe, so I wouldn't even say there's a guarantee that they try a field goal if it ends up at 4th down. I would not put anything past Coach Gass at this point.
No. No, they have They've run the classic corner out route. They've crossed the wide receivers and the slot people, but they have not thrown the ball over the middle now in about 6 or 7 minutes. So we'll see what happens. You would think that they might be looking for the back to come out of the backfield and catch the ball over the middle.
Well, the other thing that's been so pronounced, we've talked a lot about the discrepancy in the quarterback play, but it feels like Franklin Pierce just has so many different receiving options, and Bentley has been limited to just Bradford, Damon, and Reed, whereas it looks like Parker just has his pick of who he wants to throw to on any given play. Takes to the air, back corner of the end zone. That one's over the top, looking for Cameron Massey. 2nd down and 10, 19 seconds on the clock.
Wow, the slot receiver for Franklin Pierce was absolutely wide open.
Instead, he throws into double coverage. David Brown Jr. and Justin Williams were both back there in coverage.
He faked like he was going to do a corner route, and then he went right up the hash, and he came back. He pointed to the quarterback. Take a look, my friend.
2nd down and 10, 19 seconds, clock paused. Romello Hyde blocks. Open man, touchdown. Alex Benitez.
Boy, that was a long throw. Just
yes,
a corner route.
Yes, it was. The ball starting on the right hash. Obviously, this is college football, so the right hash has to throw even longer on that play across the field. But Benitez hauls it in, and after Bentley finally gets on the board, Franklin Pierce doesn't even blink, marches the other direction, and gets back up by 3 scores, and they'll get the ball.
They did that in a minute 50?
Yep.
Wow.
And they only used one of their 2 timeouts. Extra point is good, so on top of all the other good things, you have a kicker who's 2 for 5 on extra points, where he's banged through all 4 today. And this has been potentially the best half of football that Franklin Pierce has ever played in any 10 play. Again, this is only a program that's 6 years old, but against the team that was picked to finish number 1 in the preseason, you didn't know what you were going to get because Pace last week was not at your level, and Slippery Rock is a top 5 team in the country. And we mentioned that game, the scoreline didn't necessarily reflect the performance and how dominant Slippery Rock was on both sides of the ball, understandably so, number 4 team in the land. But they have been, in every phase of the game, this has been the way Franklin Pierce wants to play. Yes, they've turned the ball over twice, but it's almost like they don't care because they're still just going to come right down your throat and dare you to stop them. And to come into here and play your game, they will have an opportunity coming out of halftime to add another one because they get the ball having won the coin toss and deferred. Boy, Bentley could really use some more special teams magic here as it's fielded on a couple of hops. Enda brings it out toward the 40. Bentley does have a timeout. And so the question is, do you take the risk of trying to go deep down the field, call a timeout, or are you just going to go and take a knee and lick your wounds in the bench and into the locker room?
You regroup, because if you're at a game that we're doing, there'll be an interception.
there will be
a 90-yard run back, and they my.
Warnock will take a knee, and that is how the first half of this game will end. Speechless, flabbergasted, flummoxed at what we've seen, but that's just par for the course.
This is the end of the first half.
Call here in Waltham as we head to halftime. 28-7, Franklin Pierce. This is their highest scoring output against Bentley in any game, and they did it in the first half.
Really a shocking first half with enough mistakes by both teams, but Franklin Pierce was able to take advantage of every turnover and every play, and they got when there was a great run back by Bentley, it ended up with a pass interference call. It really is an odd first half.
Well, that just means there's more fun to be had in the second half. We'll take a little bit of a pause, but we have plenty to talk about. Some understandably kooky stats to go through, and then we'll have second half action for you in just a little bit. Here from Waltham, Massachusetts, the NE10 opener, but it's been the Franklin Pierce Ravens who have been the dominant side through 30 minutes as we had to break here on Flow Sports and BTV. It's Franklin Pierce 28, Bentley 7.
The beauty of business is its ability to solve human problems and to bring those solutions to scale.
Test.
That scale
Test.
really does make the world a better place. Bentley University is uniquely positioned to prepare students for a 21st century marketplace. The intersection of business and the arts and science is where magic can occur. That's what we do. That's what we bring to the table. And that's the difference at Bentley.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
We welcome you back to Peter Yetten Field here in Waltham, Massachusetts, just west of the great city of Boston, on a perfect day to start any 10 play. But it hasn't been perfect for the Bentley Falcons as they fell behind early 21-0 and trail it at halftime 28-7. You see the stats up on your screen. We'll get into them a little bit. Mason Stauff alongside Dick Ewell. Dick, obviously everything leaning toward Franklin Pierce, the total yards, the passing yards, the rushing yards. The yards per play, we were talking about the inability for Bentley to really set the tone on the rushing side to allow their passing game a little bit of wiggle room. And obviously you see the 5 combined turnovers, but that was more because Bentley was coughing it up, and Franklin Pierce didn't even seem to care whether they threw an interception. They were just going to force it down the field and dare Bentley to stop them. They did throw 2 interceptions, but they also scored 4 touchdowns.
They have been, again, they're keep their foot on the gas pedal and keep scoring, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, a couple of times when they had the ball back in their own part of the field, and you said, well, they're just going to run it and punt Bentley into problems down their own goal line. They did not do that. There have been a lot of turnovers, and there have been a chance for Bentley to turn the momentum around, but the drive at the end of the first half tells you everything you need to know. And I really, Franklin Pierce has really played a pretty good football game as far as hitting is concerned. Their tackling's been pretty good. And Bentley is a young football team, and they are missing some of the guys that they had that have graduated, and that has hurt them. And especially in the quarterback, if you get behind 21-0 and you're going to have to throw the football 45 or 50 times to get back into the game, then you're going to need a quarterback that can make some plays with his feet if he is run out of the pocket. And that has not been a problem. And the interception that he threw in the end zone at the end of the half was just awful. That's one of those ones you've got to throw the ball out of bounds so you can keep playing. He got out of the pocket and then got up to the line of scrimmage and just threw a floater into the end zone. And they really have been hurt by bad decisions. They've made some bad penalties, and they've had some awful turnovers. And that has really come back to haunt them. To get back in the game, again, they've rushed 18 times for 19 yards, and that includes a couple of sacks with the quarterback. They're going to have to do a lot better, and they were given a chance a couple of times by their opponent, but they just didn't take advantage of it. And now, whatchamacallit has got the ball at they're going to get the kickoff. And if they take it down the field and they score again, it's going to take a lot out of Bentley. Bentley had a chance there when it was 21-7 to see we're only 2 touchdowns behind, and now 3 touchdowns. They've got a big, big hill to climb.
Quickly through the numbers, Adrian Parker, 11 of 18, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, also threw those 2 interceptions. Luke Warnock, 12 of 21 for Bentley, 130 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks. Also a fumble for Joshua Campo, as we talked about the struggles on the running game. Campo, 9 carries for a total of 24 yards and that fumble. Romello Hyde on the other side, 14 for 60. Franklin Pierce can run the ball. They have run the ball. They just don't want to do it. Whether it's 3rd and 12, it could be 3rd and 30, and it still feels like they're going to target down the field and see if they can spring a big play. One of the other things, Franklin Pierce was able to get 7 different receivers involved. Nobody with more than 2 catches. Marchie leading the way with 2 for 79, but 78 of them came on that opening score. Cameron Massey, 2 catches for 66 total yards. Bentley getting Rashawn Bradford involved early and often. He's got 6 catches on 8 targets for 59 total yards and his first touchdown of the season. Henry Schouten leading the way, tackling with Bentley for 4 tackles. Will Gomes, 6 for Franklin Pierce. The scoring summary, we'll give you that in just a moment, but first, we're about to get back underway as Bentley will kick off right to left. Back deep to return. Franklin Pierce has already gotten a couple of explosive plays. Looking for another one here. End over end kick, and it's going to fall down. It doesn't get touched. Now it gets picked up, and now here's an opportunity to potentially run it back for a little bit. We already have some kookiness. That has been the name of the game. Zakir Kerr picks it up and brings it back out.
They had him inside right around the 10-yard line, and they end up getting the ball all the way back out to the 22. It really has been –
If Franklin Pierce can get a break, they're getting a break.
They really have. And the funny thing is he could have just downed the ball, and he picked it up and ran with it and got it out to the 24.
1st and 10 for Adrian Parker. This game started 3 minutes in, a 78-yard touchdown pass from Parker to Marchie for the opening score as he throws the floated pass out to the flat. Caught there by Benitez. Picks up a good chunk on the opening play of the second half and moves the sticks. 1 play, 11 yards, first down.
And one of the big differences in the game is that Parker, who has been a great quarterback in the league for a few years, he's run out of the pocket and made some great throws under pressure where the receivers come back for the ball. That's the difference. We have not seen that from the Bentley offense.
8:47 to play in the first quarter was the Parker 1-yard rush. That came after the fumble and the ridiculous return by Franklin Pierce as this handoff goes to Benitez. Gets little on the first down play. Let's say he got 2. Bentley has been able to get Franklin Pierce into 2nd and long and even 3rd and long situations, but that hasn't fazed the Ravens at all, as then they've gone to the air and either through pass interference penalty or long gain has picked it up more often than not. They've had to punt twice. One of those was blocked, and the other was a running into the kicker that almost cost Bentley. Pass out to the right side flat once again. Upended is Romello Hyde. And it'll be 3rd and medium. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Their ability to, when Parker is on the move out of the pocket, the ability to dump it off and make positive yardage has kept them out of some very, very big downs.
Just 49 seconds after that second touchdown was the interception that led to the Romello Hyde 2-yard touchdown scamper that made it 21-0. There would be no scoring, although there would be lots of drama for the next near quarter and a half before Rashawn Bradford had his 6-yard touchdown reception. That got Bentley on the board with 1:54 to go as they do get the stop. Mario Diaz involved in that play, wearing those pink gloves. But the Ravens were able to answer in that final 1:54, scoring with 14 seconds left on the Benitez 13-yard touchdown reception. That made it 28-7. But Bentley gets their first big stop early in this second half. As for the first time, really not a lot of drama on that drive for Franklin Pierce. Nearly had the ball blocked again. We're going to have another running into the kicker. And this should move the chains. So Bentley shoots themselves in the foot again. As with a 4th and 5, the running into the kicker will bring it to first down yardage.
Running into the kicker. Receiving team number 40. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
60 yards. You take the risk, and you now have 2 running into the kicker penalties. This one bites you. First down.
And that's all they needed was 5 yards. Boy, it really...
The payoff from a block is not worth the risk of giving them a first down in a 3-touchdown game.
Well, if you get in there, it's funny. I used to say the same thing. You need to take a left or a right turn at 10 yards. If you get anywhere near the kicker, all right, you've gone too far, and and the ball will go underneath you.
On the first down play, it's Johnson. Doesn't have anywhere to go, is swarmed by a number of Falcons, including Lucas Tremblay, the D lineman, number 98. Dick Ewell alongside me, longtime quarterbacks and special teams man with Curry College and MIT as well before that. Knows what it takes.
That penalty right there. That cost you 5 minutes. That you would have had the football, and you need 3 touchdowns to catch up.
Stepping up through the pocket, Parker scrambles, has space. Schouten's trying to track him down. He won't get there. Tiptoeing across the sideline inside Bentley territory is Parker, and that's what he can do. He's such a threat with his arm. He does have the ability to move the legs, and he outruns the coverage for an early first down into Bentley territory.
And that is the difference in the veteran quarterback being able to run out of the pocket on a broken play where everyone is covered, and he makes a big first down. And now they've had the ball now.
Almost 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Now you have 26 minutes.
Johnson again. Seeing a little bit more of Anthony Johnson. It was really a one-back set in the first half. Romello Hyde. We saw Tezzy Boswell for a couple of plays.
The ruling on the field, the runner was down.
Some carries
second
to start
down.
the second. Another good gain on first down. How many times have we talked about that as well, Dick? Just the ability to pick up half the yards you need on first down. If you just stick to the ground game, it's not flashy, it's not fancy, but it makes your second and third down plays just so much more manageable.
Sets up your passing.
Yep. Parker into the flat. Johnson catches, wrapped up nicely. Good play made by Brandon Cox, who comes up to make the hit. 6-foot grad student from Philly. And another huge opportunity for Bentley's defense. This is far from field goal range. I'm not saying Franklin Pierce wouldn't go for it on fourth down, because they have just shown a ridiculous level of aggressiveness, and they're inside the Bentley 40. But this is a huge play nonetheless. Parker in the shotgun. Sends the man in motion. That's Tristan Evans. Looks to his right. Instead, it goes to the running back. And nothing there for Johnson, who's been in for this full drive. No gain. 4th and 5, and the offense isn't budging. I'm not saying this could be the ball game, but it could go a long way to determining if Franklin Pierce can put this one out of reach or if Bentley still has a fighter's chance. 4th and 4.
Well, this drive is approaching 6 minutes, and no matter what happens here, they just ate up 6 minutes of time.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Bentley nearly jumped offside. They get some pressure. Look at Parker just stop on a dime, throw it, and hit his man. He can do no wrong. Just showing poise and finding Cameron Massey for another big third down. Now 4th down gain. That's just gorgeous quarterbacking.
Boy, he was so poised. In fact, I thought they'd stop the play.
Yeah, right? Just stopped. And just the whole field he sees. And that comes not just with talent, but with experience. And again, this is a third-year quarterback. So rare to see the same quarterback at the same school starting for 3 straight years. It feels like that is a bygone era. But Adrian Parker was the offensive player of the year in the conference last year for a reason, and plays like that show you why. Johnson takes the handoff, runs over right guard. Hit on the play.
First down. Wow.
Moves the chains again. We have seen basically half of this third quarter burned on this whole drive, and it was all avoidable. It was an early first down, but then just a simple 4th and 5. Punt unit was out there, and Bentley just got over-aggressive. Their second running into the kicker penalty, and it may not only cost them points, but it's going to cost them a half a quarter's worth of time. 8 minutes to play in the third, and Bentley has yet to touch the football. Parker gets the audible from the sideline, and timeout will be called by Coach Gaskamp.
Franklin Pierce.
Well, if you were going to script out the way Bentley wanted this third quarter to start, this would not be it.
And what's just unfortunate is that they had it. They had it. They got the stop inside opposing territory, and you're not looking at Ethan Brown and saying that this guy is going to punt the ball reliably inside the 15-yard line. Yes, you got the block, but you also have one running into the kicker penalty already today that didn't cost you. It could have, because that was very close to roughing the kicker the first time. The second one was the pure definition of running into the kicker, but because it was 4th and 5, it moves the chains, and that was 4.5 minutes ago.
I was going to tell you, Mason, in the old days, if you had one leg up in the air and you got hit, there was no such thing as running into the kicker.
Yep.
That was personal foul.
It's the one position that's always really been protected.
But they changed it now.
Yep. Didn't burn Bentley the first time. It does here. Low snap, handoff Johnson, stumbles forward inside, close to the 5 on 1st and goal from the 8.
You know things are tough. That's your best football player. He had him in the backfield, Henry Schouten, and he didn't bring him down. That's when you know you have the bad juju cloud over you.
Second and goal from the
in that first half, Franklin Pierce with 3 of 5 on 3rd down. They've converted on 4th down on this drive. Another low snap. Parker rolls to his right, has a man, throws it, and it's caught. Touchdown, Franklin Pierce. Alex Benitez with his 2nd touchdown of the game and an 8-minute drive killer.
The ruling on the field is a catch for a touchdown. We have the try.
It's 34-7, PAT upcoming.
You hate to say it, but if you're playing defensive back in any kind of football and you only have to cover in the end zone, the receiver should never be able to cut in front of you. You should always be playing in front of them.
Dylan Hubbard on to attempt his 5th extra point of the day. He's 4 for 4. Hold is good. Kick is up. And just like everything else, it's good, as that one caroms off the upright and goes in, because of course it does. If something can go right for FPU, it's gone right. And Bentley's unfortunately played a role in that. They have helped Franklin Pierce out, but they have gotten some breaks. And a PAT going off of the iron and in is just another one. 35-7.
That's an 8-minute drive. 8 minutes. Wow.
We've seen literally everything in this game. The one thing we had not seen is one team sustain a long drive. And Franklin Pierce chose a perfect time to get a long drive. They would have taken a score either way, but there's a big difference between finding an explosive play and maybe scoring 2 minutes into this third quarter and keeping Bentley's defense out there for 8 minutes. This place was full and rowdy, and it got quiet fast. It's 35-7, and we have not seen a conference opponent dominate Bentley on this field for a long time, other than maybe New Haven, and even then, they haven't really done something like this. As the bouncing ball fielded, brought out by Zion Simmons, and Simmons brings it past the 35. Good starting field position for Bentley. One thing we can say is that nothing ever seems to be normal when we call a game together on this field, and Bentley hopes that things get a little bit weirder.
Well, they're going to need to score, and they're going to need to stop them every time after they score on the open and the kickoff.
Bentley starts with Isaiah Osgood. So Warnick does not take the field to start this first drive. And yes, it is the first drive of the third quarter for Bentley. Osgood sends Edward in motion. Quick throw, and that is at the feet of the running back, and that's the running quarterback trying to throw to the RB and throw it in the dirt.
Second down.
The head coach is caught between a rock and a hard place. He's got the running quarterback, and he's down by 4 touchdowns, and he's got the passing quarterback who can't run.
Still Osgood takes the shotgun, rolls to his left. That pass is complete. Navon Reed in space. And he stays in bounds across midfield, down past the 47 to the 46. Good starting field position for the drive, and a good catch and run by Navon Reed. That's what it's going to have to be with Osgood back there, is a little bit of trickery. They're going to get the legs moving. Talked to Coach Scarpa on Thursday. He said Osgood can throw. He's not just a running quarterback, and if you get the easy passes like that to Rashawn Bradford, he can make a difference. 2 quick catches, one by Reed, one by Bradford. Bentley in business.
Well, he can get open, and when he gets it, he's magical.
3 receivers right. Bradford in the 2 receiver set left. He looks left, goes right. A little bit of a high pass, but it's caught in the flat by Edward, and he gets half the yards needed on first down. That's the first down play needed, and Bentley suddenly has a little bit of giddy up in their step. Picks up a good 7, maybe 7.5 yards on first down. Makes this second down play infinitely easier. Opens up the playbook for Coach Scarpa. Has Damon, the tight end, moving in front. Osgood tried to dump it to him. It's an incomplete forward pass. I thought Osgood might have had the path to the first down, and then he chose to dish it off and was lucky it was moving forward.
He was very lucky it was moving forward, because the young man that he threw the ball to had decided to go down and block downfield for him.
Captain Pat Damon had shifted from receiving tight end to blocking tight end, and Osgood tried to throw it to him. 3rd down and 3. Bentley is already in 4th down territory, down by 4 scores. Osgood tries to rush through it. There's what he does best. Gets it to the line, and this should move the chains. They say he's short. See the 4th down marker, and it's going to be 4th and maybe 6 inches, if that. And I'm actually really surprised Osgood's coming out for this play. Okay, they moved the chains. I was going to say on the 4th down play, you leave the running quarterback in. They do say it's enough for the first down, so it's 1st and 10 from the 11. Bentley can get a first down, I think maybe 6 inches out from the goal line.
No, they just dumped the markers, so this must be inside the 10.
I guess so. So 1st and goal. First time we see Warnock in on the drive. Has Edward behind him. Warnock moving across. Throws across his body into double coverage. Bradford the target. And the breakup was Jamel Lee. 2nd and goal.
Boy, you hate to say anything, but this is really schizophrenic when you have 2 quarterbacks going in and out.
Well, the tough part is it really looked like there was a little bit of rhythm for Osgood. Had a couple of nice completions, did the job with his legs, and he's coming out, and Warnock has got to go in. First time on the drive, 1st and goal. Now 2nd and goal, and has the full 10 yards to get. Warnock throws over the middle, and nobody's there. Threw it into 2 tight end coverage as they go with the 12 package. And it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and goal, but it's a full 10 yards that Bentley needs to get, and neither pass has been close.
And they're unfortunately in 4-down territory, and the worst position to be in 1st and goal is 6 inches inside the 10-yard line.
That's why I'm almost a little surprised. They can run the ball. Why you went for the pass on first down when 2nd and goal from the 5 just feels infinitely easier than 2nd and goal from the 10. And now here you go 3rd and goal from the 10. You need 10 yards and timeout, CJ Scarpa.
First team timeout Bentley.
How does Bentley play this? Do they go to the end zone, or do they run something short of the goal line but try and pick up something so they're not facing 4th and goal from the 10-yard line?
Well, if you get man-to-man coverage, the classic way to do this is to run a pick play where one guy's running inside on a slant and he picks off the inside guys who's running a quick out to the outside. That's the easiest way to do this. And you have two big bodies because Bentley has featured tight ends in the trio and trips formations.
Reed's tight to the formation, Damon in the slot, Bradford near side left, Bibby far side right.
That's what they did.
And they try and go to Damon, but the pass was behind him, and he was lucky that wasn't a pick six because Darian Lopez Sullivan had his hands on the football, and there was no one back the other way. If Lopez Sullivan picks this off, he's taking it.
There can't be anything worse than 4th and goal from the 10.
Bentley has the offense out there. Osgood had moved them down into this position. Warnock has come on and thrown 3 straight incompletions, and now he's got to find something in the end zone. Staying in the pocket. Good coverage, but then throws a floated ball, and it's caught by Pat Damon. Finds the captain. There's going to be a pass interference penalty, I think, on top of this anyway. We'll see what the call is. It could be OPI, though.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3.
It's defensive
that penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Captain, go get it. Pat Damon does, and Bentley gets the touchdown.
He did. He jumped like a basketball player to get that ball. Good for him.
And you see the offensive pass interference. It's Bibby who got held by Justin Mays, and Damon came in front of the play for the touchdown. Extra point is good by Ben Mitchell. And Bentley needed a touchdown, got a touchdown. They still trail by 3 scores, but we still have 19 minutes of game action. They just need to be disciplined defensively.
Well, when they kick off, if they can keep them inside the 25-yard line, and they've got to stop them each time. No first downs, punt, get the ball to the 35 or 40, and you have to go down. This next touchdown is obviously unbelievably important, but you cannot allow an 8-minute drive the way that it happened at the start of the second half. That's a no-no. You need to get one more before the end of the quarter.
So Bentley scores in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The 10-yard touchdown pass, second of the day from Luke Warnock, this time to Pat Damon, the captain. Damon named a captain this season, along with DiPlacido, Schouten, Isaiah Gomes, the D-lineman, and Mike Boutros. End over end ball, fair catch called for and made by Alex Benitez, and Franklin Pierce will start. They've bounced back after each of Bentley's first score.
Yeah,
late in the second quarter.
The touchdowns have meant nothing to them, Mason.
No. Nothing has stopped them from playing exactly how they want to play.
You are absolutely correct there. They have never said, oh, yes, we're going to go in the cocoon, we're going to play more conservative. It's, we'll score so many points, you'll never make it up.
Trips receivers to the right, empty set on the left. They run over to the left side, and Bentley stops them for short yardage on first down. We saw a lot of Johnson on the first series. This time, Romello Hyde got the halftime break and then had 8 minutes where he didn't have to run in the first series. Gets his first carry of the second half, 11 minutes in. Clock moving inside of 4 minutes. Can Bentley get a stop? Second down and 6. Hyde, again the running back. Two receivers on this right-hand side. Again, a lot of time. Good pass. Downfield. Has a man. It's just a little bit too strong for Alex Benitez, who's gotten 2 touchdown passes today. Had a little bit of a step on Zamor, but could not haul it in. And here's the play again. 3rd and 6. Franklin Pierce has not been fazed by 3rd down. Or 4th, for that matter.
You know who's been a good addition here? Mario Diaz, who's been playing nose guard, nose tackle for Bentley as a backup. And here he comes out, of course.
Remember, Bentley lost their right guard, Jake Guy, early in this game, and he is the replacement. Pass over the middle, dangerous ball. It is caught by the tight end Marchie, but Bentley's going to get off the field if they don't commit any penalties on the punt. And again, it is 4th and 5, so you cannot run into the kicker.
Boy, they had 2 people crossing over the middle, and he threw that ball. Talk about dangerous.
Risks. Franklin Pierce has taken risks in this game.
They have. Put it all on NVIDIA in the stock market, right? That's the way they play.
Ethan Brown on to punt. He has had 1 blocked. He's also been run into twice. Again, Bentley comes. Again, they hit him. And again, it will move the chains. What are they doing?
Running into the kicker, receiving team number 14. This 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
They get Chadwick Bailey on running into the kicker, and it moves the sticks again. And it doesn't matter which team you call for. That has to just be the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. I've never seen 3 running into the kicker penalties on the same team.
I was just going to, Mason, I said only you and I could get 3 running into the kicker penalties in one football game from the same team.
And Franklin Pierce stays out there again. Franklin Pierce has done a lot of things right. Bentley has helped them out. Romello Hyde runs for a 1st down on 1st and 10. Picks up 10, maybe 11. The last time Bentley did this, it resulted in an 8-minute drive for a touchdown.
I keep waiting for the referee to come over and say to the head coach of Bentley, "What are you doing?"
It's the easiest call ever. These are the most obvious running into the kicker penalties you can get. It's
3 times.
I understand wanting to dial up pressure, but you need the ball more than you need the field position.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We need the piggy.
Hyde breaks free. There he goes. Romello Hyde inside Bentley territory, inside the 40. Picks up back-to-back 1st downs. And Franklin Pierce right back to business. Special teams coordinator for Bentley is Brendan Smith. I don't know whether it's him asking his team to dial up the pressure or what, but regardless, this has been tough.
No, it's funny, and I coached it for 40 years. If you're going to try to block a punt, when the guy gets in there for 10 yards away, he's got to take a 90-degree turn to the left or the right, because that's where the ball's going to be.
Handoff again to Hyde, and again he breaks through the middle. Shreds a tackler, shreds another, still on his feet, inside the 10. And Franklin Pierce using the gift that Bentley has given them for the 2nd time in this quarter to roll into the red zone.
You know, you tell your kids when you're coaching, you said if you get a break like that, you got to go down, and it never happens. You never drive the ball down. And they have twice running into the kicker, and they've driven the ball, and they've done it on the ground.
First and goal from the 9-yard line.
Inside of a minute, Parker. Couple of claps, takes the snap. Why not go right back to Hyde? He has taken 3 straight rushes for 1st down yardage after the running into the kicker penalty, and that should be the end of the 3rd quarter, as Franklin Pierce can run this one all the way down and take us to the 4th quarter. So we will go all the way to the other end of the field, where Franklin Pierce is threatening to put up a 40-piece. 5 touchdowns already, and they're knocking on the door of a 6th. Has only 3 total possessions in that quarter. Bentley sustaining 2 Franklin Pierce drives with running into the kicker penalties. And the defense just continues to get carved by a combination of Romello Hyde on the ground and Parker in the air.
This is the end of the third quarter.
As we head for home here from Waltham. 15 minutes to go in regulation. Franklin Pierce driving, leading it 35-14 over Bentley.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Start of the fourth quarter. Franklin Pierce up by 21, looking for more. Parker rolls to his right, steps through traffic, throws back across his body, almost throws an interception as Jacob Flores tried to pick it off, but there is a flag. It was 2nd down and 6. And we have an ineligible man downfield, I believe. So Bentley is going to have the opportunity. Do you take the penalty where it's still 2nd down,
an
or
eligible
you want
receiver
it to be 3rd
downfield?
down?
Offense number 66.
I hate to
that
question
penalty is
the head
declined.
coach.
3rd down.
They decline the penalty.
Why would you throw the ball there?
Because that's what they've done.
They've just ran it all the way down the field, all right, with the tailback, all right, and they're just rooting out the Bentley defensive line, and they throw it and get an ineligible man downfield.
Not only that, they throw it back across the body. Doesn't really get the plant foot down. All the things you're told not to do. And it, again, I'm not going to say works out, but it survived. Pass caught short of the goal line to Romello Hyde. Franklin Pierce wants to go for this. Adrian Parker isn't even remotely looking for the field goal unit. He wants the ball. 4th and goal. Bentley, to say it's must stop is just obvious. A chance to turn them over on downs. It'll still be the full field, but any chance of a miracle is predicated on a stop right here. Although Coach Gaskamp may take a timeout here and bring the field goal unit on. We will see. That would make it a 3-score game still, but it would require 3 Bentley touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. I think that's the smarter play, is just bring out, have the chippy. There's the timeout from Coach Gass, and I think the field goal unit team will come on to make it a 24-point game.
Franklin Pierce.
And that may be the first conservative thing we've seen from Franklin Pierce in this game.
They really have, as I said, they ran the ball all the way down the field, and then they're 2nd and goal or 1st and goal, and they decided to throw it, and it could have been an interception. They ended up losing with an ineligible man down the field, but they have not been tortured by some of their decisions. They're going to. It'd be interesting to see what they're going to do here. No, they're bringing out the.
It's the offense.
The offense.
Why did I say it was going to be conservative? I know this better.
Hush your mouth, Mason.
All right. So Adrian Parker has Alex Benitez to his right. Has 3 receivers to the right, 1 on the left. That's Cameron Massey. This could do it right now to put it on ice. 3-score game, trying to make it 4. Parker is stuffed. Turnover on downs. It remains a 21-point game. It was a direct snap to Benitez, and he got nothing. They went Wildcat with Parker moving out of the play and Benitez taking it.
Why would you ever take the ball out of Parker's hands?
There's a lot of I think a 24-point game just feels different than 21. On top of the fact that then you run that play? Kookiness. That's what we get. There's the shift right there to move Parker into the running back spot, and then it's a fake. Oh, okay. I don't know. Bentley's got the full field to go. Warnock throws it short to Damon. Again, double coverage there for Franklin Pierce against the Bentley tight end. 2nd and 10.
So if we were, Mason, if we were in the offensive meeting on Friday night and you said to me, you said, the league MVP from last year, we're going to take the ball out of his hands inside the 5-yard line.
On 4th and 2.
I can't believe that you would say, yeah, that's okay, Dick.
That's why we're not. That's why we're up here. Although, I guess our job is to try and make sense of the nonsense. I don't know if we've done too good a job of it because we have struggled to figure out exactly what has gone on. But that's been multiple years of that. Here comes Warnock again. Throws. Good pass, Damon. Catch for a first down.
He is reliable.
Yep. Bentley has turned to their 3-pronged attack of 2 tight ends and Rashawn Bradford. It's been Reed, Damon, and Bradford pretty much every time. Moves the sticks. Bentley's still got 13 and a half minutes. You find a way to score, make it a 2-touchdown gain, and suddenly Franklin Pierce has got some thinking to do. Who do you think? Damon, again to the 35, first down.
Well, their safeties are backing up. They just don't want to get beat down the field, and that obviously opens up big area over the middle of the field. And they're only rushing 3 here. They're playing 7 people back.
Both Warnock and Osgood have been on the money in the second half for the most part. The problem is this is only the second Bentley drive of the second 30. Bradford. Double handoff, triple handoff, Warnock back to Bradford, and now there's space, and now he's got blockers to the 45, to the 50, and good tackling in the open field. That could have gone for a lot more. Bentley goes to the trickery for the second straight time as Jamel Lee hauls him down, but Bentley onto the opposite side of midfield, moving again.
The ball changed hands 3 times before they threw a screen pass to Bradford in the flat.
That's what it takes to free up the MVP from a season ago. Bradford 7 catches in this game after he had 7 catches through weeks 1 and 2 combined. Drop back. Out of the pocket. Scrambles and does a good job to get to the boundary and turn what could have been a sack in the backfield into positive yardage. Not by much, as it's only 1 yard. It looked a little bit more than that from this angle, but still saves the play, saves the football. 2nd and 9 from the 45. Warnock has Campo on his hip. The 2 tight ends are on this near side. In fact, Bentley brought 3 tight ends out on that play because Cooper Markham was also on the field. So this near side had Damon, Reed, and Markham all together. I don't know the last time I've seen a 3 tight end formation all on one side of the field on the same play.
Very few teams have got 3 tight ends, much less use them.
Yep. It resulted in a 3-yard pickup. 3rd and 6. Bentley is obviously in 4-down territory, so they got 2 plays to pick up 6 yards. Campo on the left now. They stack 3 receivers on the right, including both tight ends and Bradford. Now they bring Reed in motion. Handoff to Campo. He's been a good bruising runner when he's gotten the opportunity, but that is not a lot. 4th down, and if he picked up 1, that's generous. And 4th and 5 now. Surprised that's the one you go on the ground for.
Yes.
4th and 5. Bentley's got to have it. The line to gain is the 36. Warnock into the flat. Catch, but knocked out of bounds. Good coverage play by Nate Kearney. He has an interception in this game, and he forces a turnover on downs here. And this ball changes hands with 10.5 to go.
Boy, if you run that, again, we always talk about this in practice. If you run that route and it's 4th down and you need 5 yards, when you get the ball, you better be 5 yards away. You can't catch the ball and the quarterback throws it and you only made 4.5.
And Carney didn't even really seek to make the tackle, knew that the out-of-bounds line was there, and just pushed him right out of play. A mile shy of the line. Actually, it wasn't as shy as it might have looked, as that ball was spotted at the 38. He needed the 36, and Bentley turns it over on downs. 10:27 to play in regulation. 21-point lead for the Ravens, and a stop in the backfield. Bentley can force a 3-and-out. They still have an outside shot. And now with 10.5 to go, then maybe you, again, bring the house on the punt and say, well, we get what we get. The key, of course, if you get a running into the kicker and it's more than 4th and 5, then it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, it's amazing that both of them were 4th down and 5.
Exactly 4th and 5. First one was 4th and 9. That's why the penalty was originally declined by Franklin Pierce. Hyde stopped. Was able to spin forward for 2 when he might have been stopped at the line. Actually got 3 when there was nothing to be had. 3rd and 5. Bentley has been in this spot twice in this quarter and looked to have gotten off the field, only to extend the drive. But again, here's that magical 5, where now you can't afford a 5-yard penalty or it moves the chains. Nine minutes to play. Substitution forces the umpire to step over the ball. Allows Bentley to bring on Lucas Tremblay. And I think we're going to have a timeout because there was some substitution issues for both teams.
Second team timeout, Franklin Pierce.
Yeah, Franklin Pierce.
Correction, 3rd and final timeout of the half, Franklin Pierce.
Uses their 3rd timeout. Remember, they used one early. Then the second one they used right before the 4th down play, where you had an entire timeout and you drew up a wildcat package where you took the ball out of Adrian Parker's hands. So that is the 3rd and final timeout of the half for FPU, with a 3rd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, I would have to say, if you're inside the 10-yard line and it's 3rd or 4th down, Parker can throw it, he can run it, and he's just a master at making things happen in the backfield. He would never take the ball out of his hands in a pressure situation.
And he's had his pick of the receivers. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes to Benitez. Also, obviously, had the big 78-yard pass that started everything on 3rd and 12 to Connor Marchie. And that really set the tone for how this game was going to go offensively for Franklin Pierce. A 78-yard strike on 3rd and 12 to the tight end to open the scoring. 3rd and 5. Bentley's got to have a stop. Parker rolls out of traffic, throws it downfield, and hits the dirt. And here we go on 4th and 5 again. Bentley has been able to dial up pressure 4 times, but they have gotten 1 block and 3 running into the kicker penalties. 1 was declined. The other 2 have been huge, costly penalties in terms of the time that they've eaten off the clock in this second half. Ethan Brown back there with the lime yellow cleats. How aggressive does Bentley get here? They bring pressure. They don't hit him. It's a wobbly kick, but it takes an FPU bounce, and it will be down at the 19-yard line. But it's the first time that a punt has actually gotten away cleanly in this game for the Ravens. Bentley has 8.5 minutes. They need 3 touchdowns.
Of course, and you look at that punting, I said that was about a 28-yard punt.
That's exactly right.
You just say to yourself, why didn't we let him punt?
On the season, Ethan Brown punting came in with 11 punts and only averaged 33 yards a kick. His longest was 44, and he had not had a single one of those 11 punts downed inside the 20.
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't make any sense. He's not a great punter.
Warnock, deep downfield, has Pat Damon. There is a flag down. That flag came down on the near side by the umpire, far away from the play, and this may come back.
Holding.
Yep.
Offense, number 58.
Holding. It's a miracle.
10-yard
all the
penalty.
things we've seen today, an
First down.
offensive hold wasn't one of them. And now we have one. Bingo. First and 20.
It has been that kind of a day for the Falcons. If you're going to get caught, you're going to get caught. The breaks have not gone their way, and they've unfortunately made some boneheaded plays.
Now that's exactly right. Franklin Pierce has gotten a lot of breaks in this game, but Bentley has not helped themselves at all. Deep downfield, Bradford, and airmailed everybody. Damon also in the area. It's become very one-dimensional for Bentley in the passing game. Find Pat Damon. He's been in the area on just about every single play. Bradford obviously involved as well, but he's been fairly quiet in the second half after 6 catches in the first, has 1 in the second. Does have his first touchdown of the season. Bentley has gotten both of their touchdowns in this game on 4th down and goal. Got 1 to Bradford and then the toss-up to Damon. Nothing's been easy, though.
Not a lot in the playbook that says 2nd down and 20 from inside your own 15-yard line.
See if you can get something to the tight ends over the middle and at least make this 3rd and something. Instead, they go all the way over the top, and they airmail everybody by 10 yards. Zion Simmons, I'll say the intended target, but wasn't exactly close to Simmons. And now 3rd and 20, and that just makes this play so difficult. Why not pick up something on 2nd down?
Well, this is the one when I was upstairs as an offensive coordinator, when you were looking for this call, I used to say, we must have a bad connection. All right. Not too many plays in the playbook that can pick up 20 yards when you're backed up almost in your own end zone.
And yes, the clock is not your friend, but if you can make that back to the sticks even, 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and 20 is just, there's so many different plays you can run in that situation. Now you really have to go deep. Instead, they go with the short toss. Bentley needs some blocking. They may have it. They do get back to the original line of scrimmage. So this is going to be 4th down and 9. Made something out of nothing, did Telly Edouard, but now it's 4th down and 8.
Wow.
Deep in your own territory, down by 21. If you could have gotten that play on the last play, and now you had 3rd down from that yardage, it just feels so different, but instead you went for the deep shot and didn't get it. Gotta have it. Again, 4th and 8. Line to gain is just shy of the 30. They move Navon Reed in motion. Drop back is Warnock. Scrambles, brings it across the line. It's a lateral pass, so he was able to make that even though he had just gotten to the line of scrimmage, but it's not going to matter. Another turnover on downs, and it all falls apart. And now Franklin Pierce. You have to think they're conservative now, right? 7 minutes to go, 21-point game. You can't be taken to the air here.
I would expect 6 to 7 running in between the tackles, and they've rushed very well here in the second half.
Started the second half with Johnson, and they come back with Johnson. So they like what they've seen.
You and I will relive the Wildcat call that they made. Only time they've done it in the entire game.
And that was crazy. Nothing compared to what the first half had, where you had all those turnovers. You had roughing the kicker, you're running into the kicker in the first half too. You had, again, the 2 best plays in this game came on the fumble return and then the interception return. The fumble return by Franklin Pierce and then the interception return by DePlacido that was almost as impressive.
Yes. Yes, and as good as his was, it was not as good as the interception return from Franklin Pierce.
Yeah, that fumble recovery was absolutely bananas.
I think we counted 7 shots that they had against him.
Take nothing away, Zakir Kerr also had an outstanding interception on a high pass as, of course, they take to the air. Alex Benitez looking for the hat trick of touchdowns in this game. Has that one go a little bit too high for him. Boy, Franklin Pierce, they refuse to do anything other than what they want to do.
Yeah, you would think with 6:08, you'd say, I'm going to run two times, get inside the 20 and kick a field goal, right? And listen, no one ever accused me of ever being conservative. But you're up by 3 touchdowns.
Now they do keep it on the ground. Romello Hyde being escorted by a teammate, trying to help him out as best he could, was the big body of 62, Justin Costa. 6'2", 280 pounds from Lynbrook, New York, trying to help his running back get anything on the play, and did so.
You don't see, I absolutely love it, they're using 4 fellows to call the plays over there, and only one guy has got the call.
Parker, he's going to throw again. Too high. Ball might have been uncatchable as there was a little bit of contact. Tristan Evans got a little push in the back from Justin Williams. And he is a little ginger.
Officials timeout
on the
for injury.
Injured. They do not call a penalty, though, against Bentley.
No, he went up in the air and landed on. And again, you hope that he's wearing the pad that goes across your coccyx bone. You land like that, it's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world is to split that bone at the bottom of your back.
So, injury timeout, but back onto the field. Yes, the Demir Stone fumble recovery in a day that's had some pretty electrifying plays is the play.
Ran like Barry Sanders.
And they actually did rule, it looks like, no, that was the 4th down play. So Bentley takes over on downs. Of course they went for it on 4th down. Why should I not be surprised? Pass out to Campo is complete. Bentley has 5 minutes. Football is a kooky game. We've seen kookier ones than most here. Can they just make it interesting and potentially have an opportunity for an onside kick? They're going to need at least one of them. Damon catches, makes a man miss as he runs across midfield.
He must be approaching double figures.
Yeah, he's had another good day. Came into this day with a team-high 10 catches for 74. We'll give you the numbers on him to this point in just a second as Bentley has to go into the hurry-up offense. Warnock again rolls out to his left, keeps it, and runs out of bounds after he didn't see anything. That's a good play. Picks up 4. If you don't see anything, you just don't want to go down inbounds. You can stop the clock and you don't cause your team a timeout in any way. For Damon, that was his 7th catch. Rashawn Bradford has a team-high 8 for 104. Damon has 7, and he's approaching triple figures as well. Navon Reed has 3 for 54. Long pass across the field is caught by Bibby. Peter Bibby III hasn't had a lot of looks in this game. Gets his 2nd catch, had 1 for 4 earlier. Clock ticking inside 4 minutes. Bentley moving the ball. They've moved the ball in this second half as that one is incomplete, in and out of the hands, knocked out. Damon had it briefly but never secured it before Deshaun Jemison knocked it down incomplete. But that's why, again, the points were killer. It was the fact that 8-minute drive to start the second half just sucked a full quarter of the second half away before Bentley even touched it. Bibby, Bradford, and Damon split out to the left. Edward, the back. Warnock looking for the short pass. Good catch by Edward. Shouldn't have had to be very difficult, and yet it was on the fingertips for a second before he hauled it in. The problem is the clock is running, 3:20 and counting, and doesn't pick up much on the second down play. 3rd and 7. Bentley needs to get to the 27, but more importantly, they need a touchdown, and they need it quick. Bentley has a couple of timeouts left. Franklin Pierce has used all 3 of theirs already. Warnock, Damon again, first down. So 8 catches now for Pat Damon, and I believe that should bring him past the century mark. Warnock, that's his 25th completion. Over 250 yards in the air, a couple of touchdowns. This has been, in his first 3 games of the season, first 3 games of his college career, the best. But the hole was dug early when Bentley fell behind 21-0, and even when they got it 21-7, that touchdown at the end of the first half, a killer as well. Edward, knocked down. Hauled down after a 3-yard gain by Darian Lopez-Sullivan. And Bentley got to go. Can they get a play off before the 2-minute timeout? Shotgun snap. Drop back pass. Open is Bradford. And he is out of bounds, but it's the 2-minute timeout either way. And Bentley will have the ball in the red zone.
The result of the play is a first down. This is the 2-minute
with
timeout.
2 minutes to go, and barring something truly miraculous, they're going to look ahead to back-to-back road games against AIC and Southern Connecticut the next 2 weeks, and they are 0-3, are staring down the barrel of.
Yeah, they've got to. They really have to figure out. You've got to eliminate the mistakes. And you have to hope that your players, the only thing you can say to them, you need to get a little bit better every day in practice. Because right now, their offensive and defensive lines are not dominating the other team the way they have, and they could come back and get some great gains from their offensive and defensive lines, but they're just not there right yet.
Out-of-town scoreboard, the team to beat in the conference, at least through 1 week of conference play, appears to be Assumption. They laid down the hammer last night under the lights in Worcester against St. Anselm, 30-8. Post went to Pleasantville, knocked off Pace 27-19, as Warnock is going to get sacked. The one thing you couldn't have happen in that circumstance, and it does. Dragged down behind the play for a sack by Cy Fofang. Bentley has not given up a lot of sacks in this game, but they're going to need to call a timeout here to at least preserve any time they have left. So Post and St. Anselm both 1-0. Franklin Pierce 141 away from starting conference play 1-0. And in New Haven, Connecticut, the other matchup that kicked off at 1 o'clock, give you the score between Southern Connecticut and
Offside.
AIC in just
Defense.
a moment, and that
Number
was a
52.
low-scoring affair. It was
Back-by
scoreless
penalty,
at halftime,
first down.
but the home
Will
side
the game
prevails
clock operator
10-7.
please reset the game clock to 1:52,
Southern
please?
Connecticut
1:52.
defeats the Yellow
And
Jackets.
Bentley elects
So
to start
Southern
the clock
Connecticut,
on the snap.
Assumption for it appears to be Franklin Pierce, and Post will be the 4 teams
Thank you.
to post Week 1 victories. Bentley will be in Springfield next week at noon to take on AIC. Franklin Pierce, they play 4 of their first 5 games of the season as Damon was open, and for the first time it goes in and out of his hands and he can't secure it. Second down and
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
So Franklin Pierce, 4 of their first 5 games at home. They return to face that Assumption team that looked so good last night. 1 o'clock kickoff in Ringe next week. And then they will host AIC the following week. There are winnable games on the schedule for Bentley. AIC, Southern Connecticut, Post, and Pace before you have to take on St. Anselm and Assumption in the final 2 conference games of the season. As Edward on the rush gets close, it will be a first down. It'll be 1st and goal as Bentley tries to make this scoreline a little more respectable. But it was a 3-score game for most of the day. 1st and goal from the 2. Warnock to Edward, up the middle, touchdown.
Touchdown.
First touchdown of the season for Telly Edward. Bentley played a much better game in the second half. They just 2 really costly running into the kicker penalties, and too many mistakes in the first half cost them.
The breaks did not go their way, and they did not make any good breaks for themselves. They cost themselves dearly. And again, if you take a look at football, the chances of you, when you're down 21-0, the chances of you winning the football game are very small.
So if Bentley cannot secure the onside kick, it will be the first victory in the modern series between Franklin Pierce and Bentley. Having lost the first 5, FPU is an onside kick away from wrapping this one up with Bentley just 2 timeouts left. Well, at the D1 level, and certainly in the NFL, onside kicks seem to be a foregone conclusion. At this level, things still happen on the onside kick. The hands aren't quite as sure. The bounces seem to be a little less true. So can Bentley work a little bit of magic? Peter Vafiatis tees it up. The true freshman from Englewood, New Jersey, gets ready for the onside kick. 4 to his right, 5 to his left. Bounces one high, and very easy ultimately for Benitez to haul it in. And Franklin Pierce may finally take a conservative approach.
Will the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 1:20, please? 1:20, please.
Now Bentley can stop it twice, so you can't really go to victory formation yet, although if they go to the air, I truly have no other answers.
No, they're going to run the football. This one is over, and unless there's an earthquake and the game stops.
It's been an absolutely stunning day for football. It's been a great fall weather-wise, but this may be the nicest day. High of 70, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful blue skies and sunshine. A great day for Falcon weekend. Soccer won earlier today, about 100 yards away through the trees as they run up the middle. Forward progress still not stopped. Franklin Pierce is perfectly content with them not stopping it either, as Bentley will call time, but that was a 10-second run play by the time forward progress was eventually blown dead after a pickup of 3.5. So Franklin Pierce will get their noses ahead of the 500 line. Talking to Coach Gaskamp on Thursday, he was very frank. He's like, we've played our best football on the road the last couple of seasons. This was a big test. Coming to Waltham, beating the top-ranked team in the preseason. Bentley has a lot of questions they need to answer. There's no doubt about that. But Bentley was still the on-paper favorite, and Franklin Pierce came out and punched them in the mouth.
And again, it's hard to find your identity if you're down 21-0. The game plan that you had about whether you're going to try to establish a running attack, and then you're going to have some play-action passes from Mr. Warnock to the tight ends over the middle and all that. It just doesn't come to fruition because you end up having to throw the ball 50 times because you're so far behind.
Franklin Pierce has been oh so close the last 2 meetings. The 12-10 grudge match 2 years ago. And then last year falling in a one-score game, 34-26 up in Ringe, as that run up the middle officially puts it on ice. It moves the chains, and one final snap will be enough. And the Bentley faithful came in with such fervor, packing these stands. But it's going to be the traveling fans from Ringe, New Hampshire, who leave happy. And it's going to be an interesting week for C.J. Scarpa and his coaching staff, because next week against AIC suddenly becomes a lot bigger. We know that Bentley's pursuit of an NE10 title a couple of years ago was derailed at a winless AIC, and now a winless start to the season. Can Bentley end that at AIC a week from today? Ultimately, the better team won on this day.
That is true. And football is a game of, you need to not make a lot of mistakes. You've got to be, and when the other team makes a mistake, you have to be able to capitalize. And Franklin Pierce was just trying to score points, and there's nothing wrong with that. They made a few mistakes, but Bentley didn't make them pay for it. And that one, boy, there were a couple on D. Placido's interception that you would have hoped that Bentley would have come through on that. And they really had, again, there were some very odd calls in this game. And again, the two running into the kickers on 4th and 5. And of course, it would have to be 4th and 5. Just absolutely beat Bentley down, so that they were unable to catch up in this game.
So Franklin Pierce, you can say a lot of positives. The biggest thing, this game was played their way. At no point did Bentley force Franklin Pierce to do something that Franklin Pierce didn't want to do. They helped him out. Ultimately, another good day from the reigning Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. Adrian Parker had the ball in his hands and did what he does, spreading the ball on offense, finding his receivers, and getting timely touchdowns. And it was enough to put up a 35-point scoreline as they knock off Bentley for the first time since the program was refounded in 2019. So they will head back home. They will face a really tough test for the second week in a row, as Assumption will make the trip up to Ringe next Saturday at 1. Bentley, meanwhile, will head down I-90, and they will take on the AIC Yellow Jackets for a 12 o'clock kickoff next Saturday. We will be back here on October the 11th, so 2 weeks on the road, AIC in Southern Connecticut the following week, and then we will have the game against Post for you right here in Waltham on October the 11th at 2 p.m. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. We look forward to having you in on the next broadcast for our outstanding crew, Kyle Mack doing all the dirty work behind the scenes, and our outstanding BTV crew bringing you all the replays and the tremendous feed all day long, and Dick Ewell to my right, always providing the colorful commentary that you know and love. My name is Mason Stauff, saying so long from Bentley University in Waltham. Your final score is Franklin Pierce 35 and Bentley 21. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. We'll see you next time.